What's in a name?
Well, my name is Mr. Bergman.
That which we call a rose by any other name would still smell as sweet.
Mr. Sams, you're quoting Shakespeare.
I am. Just call me Juliet.
Juliet? Your name is Juliet!
Who said that?
Oh, actually, you know, I believe that is in Act 2, Scene 2 of Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, yeah? Did you look that up on the internet?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's how I knew that. But, you know, the internet is a powerful thing. Google.com. Okay, so, hey, today we're going to learn about naming. So that's why you're a name and the rose thing from Romeo and Juliet. So we're going to learn about how to name. Plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. Ah! Here's what I want you to do. Everybody get out your periodic table. Push pause. Oh, you're back. Great. You've got your periodic table. I want you to put at the top of your column, like I have here in class, plus 1 for the first column on the periodic table. Do I sound like a car salesman?
You do.
In plus 2 is the second column. Number 2, plus 2, beryllium, magnesium, and calcium. Hey, then we jump over here. Okay, I'm going to hurt myself. All right, in this column, column 13, I want you to write plus 3. Woo! In this column, I don't want you to put any charges. I know it's kind of weird, but that's what I do. Hey, in this column, column 15, with nitrogen at the top, he is minus 3. Oxygen's family, and all his family, he's minus 2. Minus 1 for fluorine. And I want you to put, we don't have it on here, but 0 on the top of the noble gas family, the last family, column 18, helium, neon, argon, etc. Got it?
Got it.
Good. Hey, when you're naming and writing formulas of compounds, the first thing you need to do is know the rules. There are several rules, and what you need to do is what?
Write them down.
So push, pause it, and write it down. Okay?
Yep.
Hey, you're back. Good. So you've written these things down. Let's do some practice.
Okay.
I think that would be a good idea. Hey, we've got a couple of names. Now, first of all, interesting thing. Actually, let's go back for a second to our rules.
These are for ionic compounds,
Yes.
naming ionic compounds.
This only applies to ionic compounds.
How do we know if they're ionic again?
I think that because they are bonded from a metal to a non-metal.
Metal and non-metal.
Now,
So
where do you find metals on the periodic table?
metals are to the left of the staircase.
Okay, so here's the periodic table, and there's like the stair step.
Wow.
So these are the metals here.
Yep.
And those would be the non-metals. So it's a bond between a metal and a non-metal.
Yep.
And it has 3 names, like a first name, a middle name, and a last name. And the middle name would be a number, and they don't always appear. It says if it's a transition metal. Okay, so what's a transition metal?
Transition metal is the kind of in between there, like scandium over to zinc and down.
So this is your transition metals, kind of right in here, okay? So let's do first number 1. The first one is CaCl2.
Yes.
Now, where do you find Ca on the periodic
Ca
table?
is over there on the left. Yep.
All right, so calcium, if you find the periodic table, is right here.
Over on the left, to the left
Now-
of the staircase.
And so he's left staircase. And what charge would you have on there, Mr.
That's
Sims?
going to be plus 2. It's in the
Yeah,
plus
plus
2
2. Remember,
column.
this is the plus 1, plus 2. And then we go over here and we find chloride.
Chloride.
Now, why aren't you calling it chloride instead of chlorine?
Well, it's bonded to a metal, which means it's going to be an ion. And chlorine, when it's an ion, we call chloride.
All right, so what would be this guy's first name?
Calcium.
Calcium.
Because the metal always just keeps its name.
And let's kind of skip the middle name for a second.
Yep.
What would be his last name?
That's a chloride.
Mr. Sams, there's 2 chlorides. So it would be dichloride, right?
No, just chloride.
What do you mean?
Yeah, the two.
Well-
We'll talk about that when we go the other direction.
Yeah.
When we go names to formulas.
It's
But
kinda
just-
confusing,
yeah,
guys.
Don't worry about the numbers.
And why is there no Roman numeral in there?
Because according to the rules, that has to be a transition metal, and a calcium is not a transition.
Remember, the transition metals, guys, are these metals right here.
Yeah.
These are the ones that have to have a Roman numeral.
Right.
So that's-
Calcium's not, no Roman numeral.
So it's just calcium chloride.
Calcium chloride.
Boy, that's easy.
That's very easy.
Man, I thought chemistry was hard.
No.
Man, you're
It's a
amazing,
myth.
Mr. Sams.
It's
All
what
right,
your mom
Na.
said. All right, Na.
Natrium.
Yep, sodium.
Oh, sodium, yeah.
Yeah, we don't speak Latin here.
Actually, that's a Latin form. I was dropping to my other first language.
Yeah, we start with Shakespeare. We throw a little Latin in.
What the heck?
We're going to culturize you.
Culturize you.
Yeah.
Sodium.
Okay, yep.
And then Br. Now, if I
That's
go back to
it's
Br.
bromine, but
Oops,
we're
I'm in the
dealing
wrong
with
direction.
ions here, so that's going to be bromide.
Right, it's called bromine, but when it becomes an ion with the charge, bromide. So it's just sodium bromide.
And no Roman numerals because sodium is not a transition metal.
Yep, sodium. Now, if you look
That's
on
it.
the periodic table again, sodium is right there. He is not a transition metal.
Nope.
And then our other last dude here is Ba.
Ba.
Hey, what does the mortician say?
I don't know.
He says barium.
Oh, boo.
I got you there, Mr. Sam.
Dumb.
Barium. Get him?
Bad.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Barium, and last name would be in. Now, we got 3s and 2s. What do we get to do with those?
We ignore them?
That's right. And
Yep.
his last name would be nitrogen, right?
No, nitride. 'Cause it's an ion.
Nitride. That's right. Okay, barium nitride.
Okay.
And now barium, just a review. Barium
Not
is over
a
here, not a
transition
transition metal.
metal.
Now, what do we do when we have a transition metal? Well, I guess we better do some transition metal ones.
All
Okay,
right.
so we have copper, and then we have Cl.
Yep.
So first name, Cu, is copper.
Copper, right.
Okay. Now we're going to skip his middle name. I think it's
Okay,
harder.
yeah, we'll come
and then
back.
last name is
Chloride.
chloride. Okay, we're good on that. And that's the IDE. Now, if we look at copper on the periodic table,
Copper is a transition metal.
here's copper right here, and he is in this
Yes,
big box.
transition metal.
So I need to give him a Roman numeral. Now, what do the rules say?
Well, the Roman numeral is based on its charge.
Charge.
Charge. It's not how many of them there are there. It is based on the charge.
Charge?
The charge.
Are you sure it's the charge?
I'm positive it's the charge. Don't ever try to make it anything other than the charge.
Now, how do I figure out the charges?
Well, if we look at chloride, chloride is always -1.
All right, hold on. So here's copper chloride, but let's look at the charge, Mr. Sam. So
Okay.
chloride over
Chloride.
here has a charge of -1 from our
Always.
periodic table. Now copper, remember he's that transition metal. We don't know his charge, so we have to figure it out mathematically.
Yep, we're going to work backwards.
Math!
Don't say that word. Just call it working backwards.
Working backwards.
We're going to work backwards. All right, so chloride is always -1, and
So
we
you
have...
Cu,
Uh-huh.
Cl, Cl.
Right, because we have 2 chlorides. That's what that little
Okay.
2 down there
Yeah,
means.
yeah.
All right, so here's how those numbers come in. All right, so put a minus charge by each of the chlorides.
-1, yeah.
Right, and then by the other one.
-1.
So that's a total of -2.
So that adds up to -1 plus -1 is -2.
Now, they always have to balance out. The pluses have to equal the minuses. So if the minuses are -2, then the plus has to be...
That's easy, Mr. Sanders. That's just +2.
+2, and the
I know
Roman-
that 2 minus 2 is 0. I can do that.
You're amazing.
I learned that in 3rd grade.
Awesome.
So that would mean the charge is +2.
Right, which then corresponds to...
The charge!
Right, the Roman
And
numeral.
the Roman numeral. So I
Right.
put Roman numeral.
The Roman numeral is
2.
the charge. It is not how many of them there are there. It is the
That's-
charge.
That's it.
Right.
That's all it was.
Exactly.
Okay, let's do
Okay.
this next one.
All right.
So
It's
that's
copper again.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
I'm good at that.
You don't know his middle name yet.
Br, we learned
Bromide.
Bromide.
It's in the same column as chlorine.
So let's go look at bromide.
Okay.
Bromide. His charge is -1.
-1. Same
Okay.
group as
So we have to do the algebra. We'll kind of work backwards.
Don't say the algebra word.
Oh, we have to do the math thing.
No, not math. We're just
working backwards. Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
All right.
BR's charge is
-1.
-1.
And so that's all the minuses are add up to -1.
So this is +1.
It has to be +1 because
So
they
it's
have
just
to add up
copper
to 0.
bromide.
No, copper 1 bromide.
But it's 1, so I'm good, right?
No, put the Roman numeral 1.
Oh, okay. Guys, what you have to do is you have to put the Roman numeral there even if the charge is +1.
Yep.
Common mistake I see with students. Okay. Oh, this one looked kind of mean, Mr. Sam.
No, it's fine.
Okay, all right. Chromium, actually, Cr, let's look ahead, okay. Chromium is Cr, right?
Yep.
And then we're going to put them together with nitrogen, it looks like.
Nitride.
So it's not nitrogen, it's
Nope.
nitride.
Because it's in a compound.
So yeah, nitride. Now we have to do a little bit more working backwards.
We do. We're gonna work
See, I didn't
backwards.
go to
Yeah,
that. Well, the
exactly.
M word. I didn't use the M
No.
word. So that's Cr, Cr, Cr.
Right, because there's 3 of them.
N.
Because there's 2 of them.
Now,
All right.
now, folks, the thing that I don't know if you've noticed, but we always give the charge to the negative
Because
character
that's always the same. That one
because
doesn't
we
change.
always know his charge. These guys, sometimes I call them the schizophrenic elements because they never know what charge they're going to
No,
take.
they're all over the place.
All over the place. Now, nitride is in the -3 column, if
Yes.
you recall, right? Okay.
All
So if it's -3, so if each N is -3,
That's a total of -6.
so I can do that. -3 and 3 is 6.
It
or
is.
-3.
Yep, so the
Negative 3 is
pluses also have to add up to positive.
+6. So this would be
6.
chromium 6 nitride.
No.
No? What?
No. Okay. All 3 chromiums total have to add up to 6.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be plus what?
What number times 3 is 6?
2.
2.
All right.
So each of them would have a charge of +2. So it's not the charge, the overall charge,
No.
guys. It is the...
Charge of the individual atoms.
So this
or
is
ions.
chromium, Roman numeral 2, nitride.
It's not chromium 3?
No,
Why isn't it chromium 3?
because it's the charge.
But there's a little 3 after the chromium.
Because that means there are 3 of them.
Right.
Each of them carries a 2 charge.
And the Roman numeral is always
the charge. Is it anything else but the
no,
charge?
it's always the charge.
It's always the
Just the charge.
Now, we're emphasizing this, guys, because it is a problem.
It's probably the most common mistake we see in chemistry.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yep. Charge. Always
Okay,
charge.
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 Okay, now we want to go the other direction.
Yep.
We want to write formulas.
Yes.
Okay, now we want to do the other direction. So when we
Yes.
go the other direction, there's also rules. The formula writing rules. So what if I give you the name calcium chloride and you have to write the formula? It's kind of the same thing but backwards
Yep.
that we've just done.
All right.
But here are the rules. So what should you probably do?
Hit pause.
Hit pause.
Write
okay,
them down.
I'm going to hit pause.
Okay, write them down.
Okay.
Okay, you're back.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Now, these are the rules. So let's do an example. Let's do strontium iodide. Now, strontium. So we're going to do strontium iodide, but strontium, that's kind of a weird element.
Yeah, it
Mr.
is weird.
Sims. So strontium, that's
Sir.
actually right. It's the Sir one, yeah. Sir. What's that? What's that movie with Sir something with love or something?
I have no idea what you're talking
So
about.
SR.
Probably some old movie.
It was.
You're old.
What was it? What was it? You remember what I'm talking about? No? Sir something with love? No? Okay, never mind. An old movie. I'm old. Okay, so SR. What's the charge of SR?
+2. It's in the +2
Is
column.
in the +2 column.
Yep.
Okay, so
Wrong way.
I went the wrong direction. I'm good. All right. Come on, Mr. Podcast Man. SR plus 2. And iodide. Now, iodide.
Yep.
It doesn't say iodine.
Nope.
A lot of people get confused with
They're
that.
ides.
And he is
It's
negative
in the
1.
-1 category.
Okay,
Yep.
so if he's a -1 charge.
Yep.
Now, what I like to do, guys, is I like to actually write this down, and now I have my charges, and
Yep.
now I'm going to determine the formula. This is not the formula.
No, because they do not add up to 0.
So I'm going to say, what I can do is I can add as many SRs and as many I's as I can, so I can get the big magic number of
0.
0. So I've got a +2 charge and a -1.
We need another negative.
If I have another iodide, I -1.
That's -2.
2 right here, plus -1 plus -1. That's -2. Well, that adds 0.
It does.
So we would write that as SRI2. Now that's kind of the way you would do it mathematically. What if we kind of did it pictorially?
Let's look.
Yeah, let's do something a little bit different. So let's break to a cool video. Okay, Mr. Sams,
Yeah.
what I want you to do is I want you to do lithium nitride. Now,
Okay.
guys, if you look, Mr. Sams has a bunch of different shapes.
Yep.
And they're bigger depending on what size they are. So lithium on the periodic table is in column number 1.
Yeah,
so
plus
his
1.
charge should be +1.
Okay.
So why don't you grab a +1.
All right. There's
And
my
then
lithium.
nitride is in column 15, so he'll be -3.
Okay, so here's a -3.
Okay,
I'm just
so
gonna fit them together just
so-
like that.
okay, so it
And-
looks like they don't.
No, I still have some spots here.
So what should you probably do?
Well, I'm gonna grab me another lithium.
Okay.
So put another +1 lithium in there.
Okay. So that's still, it's not like it doesn't make a
No,
nice
I
cool
think I'm
rectangle.
gonna need another lithium right there. Hey, there we go.
So
Now,
how many +1s do you have?
I have 3 +1 lithiums.
Okay.
And I have 1 nitride.
Okay. So that would be
Li3.
3
Li3
in.
N.
Good. Okay, let's do another one.
Okay.
How about we do calcium
Calcium.
sulfide.
Okay, calcium's a +2 because it's in the second column.
All
I'm
right, so
gonna
grab
get
a +2 guy.
There's my calcium.
Okay.
And sulfide.
Sulfide.
Okay, sulfide's a -2. It's in the
-2,
oxygen column.
okay.
So I'm gonna grab this one.
So calcium
And I'm gonna
sulfide.
stick 'em together.
Hey, they fit together.
Yes, they do.
So that would
So I
be.
have 1 calcium, so Ca, and I have 1 sulfide, so S.
Well, that's it.
S.
Well, that was simple.
That was very simple.
Okay, how about we do a hard one, Mr.
Okay.
Sams?
Give me a good one.
How about we do calcium
Okay.
phosphide?
Calcium phosphide. All right, calcium's +2.
Calcium's +2.
Phosphide's a -3.
He's down in that -3
So
category.
we'll put them in there like that.
It looks like they don't fit, Mr. Sams.
Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna get another +2.
Okay,
from
good,
calcium.
good. I'm there. Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Still don't
now
fit.
I got another. Now I have an extra one here, so I'm gonna grab another phosphide.
Got that other next phosphide.
I'm gonna put it right there.
Okay.
Okay, now I have another gap, so I'm gonna grab
Okay.
another calcium.
All right, so now,
And ta-da!
and then how many do we have?
I have 3 calciums.
Right.
And I have 2 phosphides, so it's
So-
gonna be Ca3
P2.
P2.
Cool.
Calcium phosphide.
So, Mr. Sams?
Yep.
That was so easy a caveman could
I
do it.
think so. Just like getting insurance.
Yeah, very cool. So that wasn't so hard. I think our students can now make formulas and
Yeah,
stuff.
and guys, if you want some of those little shape things, just ask for them in class. We'll give them to you.
Yeah, Mr. Shams.
Mr. Shams.
Mr. Shams has all the shapes.
Sham chest shapes.
Shams has shapes. Okay.
Yep.
See you in class. Bye.
Bye.